Hello and welcome. Good morning and welcome to Front Page Review on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja and VOP TV. Thank you for tuning. My name is Lagdo Dam and you're welcome to Monday edition of Front Page Review. Today is 28th day in the month of August 2023 and I'm glad to be here with you to bring you all of the juiciest headlines making round in Nigeria. And we don't just stay on the headlines, we go deep into details to form some opinions and also look at it from different perspectives that you might have not even imagined. Stay with us and please don't change your dial because we have a lot lined up for your listening pleasure. First on our headline today is Cameroon Dam opening, evacuate to prevent deaths. Federal government states warn flood-prone communities. This is something that we have witnessed in the past and it's still back to haunt us again, but we will be looking at that in detail during the course of the program today. Cash shortage, bank borrowing from CBN hits 12 trillion naira. It's on the Punch newspaper. And also still with the Punch newspaper, ECOWAS demands shorter transition period from junta. This is talking about Niger Republic. And also external reserves fall by $915 million after naira floats. Servicing debts with 90% revenue path to destruction, according to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And on The Guardian, we have this FMDQ Forex market record $417.9 million turnover in 1 week. And when we move to the Vanguard, we have this Supreme Court confirms Police Service Commission as statutory body responsible for recruitment into the Nigeria Police Force. These are some of the headlines that we will be looking at, and if time permits, we will definitely look at more headlines because we have a lot of headlines to look at. And don't forget, at 7:30 we will be linking up with our guest analyst in person of Mr. El-Rufai Oseni, who will also add to the conversation. But before then, let's hit the ground running with this one that we said is on the Punch newspaper. Cameroon Dam opening, evacuate to prevent deaths. Federal government states warn flood-prone communities. Let's take a look at this and also look at different stories concerning this issue of Lagdo Dam that will even take us to how it started and connect to Destin Hausa Dam, which is supposed to be the twin dam to Lagdo Dam, even bigger than Lagdo Dam, but it should have been situated here in Nigeria. Let's look at this. The release of huge volumes of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon has made states along the path of River Benue in Nigeria brace up for possible flood disasters in their various domains. To prevent deaths and other disasters associated with floods, states that are likely to be affected have asked residents of the flood-prone areas to evacuate such communities. According to the National Emergency Management Agency officials, NEMA, no fewer than 11 states including Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Cross Rivers are likely to feel the negative impact of the opening of the Lagdo Dam. The states on Sunday advised such residents to leave the areas to avoid impact on human lives and valuable assets. It was gathered on Sunday that Cameroon informed the federal government that it will soon open its Lagdo Dam. The director of the African Affairs, Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs, Umar Salisu, said in a letter dated August 21st, 2023, that the ministry received a note from the High Commission of Cameroon as regards the opening of the dam. The letter, which was addressed to the National Emergency Management Agency, read in part, I have the honor to inform that the ministry is in receipt of a note verbally from the High Commission of the Republic of Cameroon informing that Cameroonian officials have resolved to open the floodgates of the Lagdo Dam on the Benue River in days ahead due to the heavy rainfall around the dam catchment area in northern Cameroon. The letter stated that it was pertinent to note that when the release of the water became necessary, the authorities of the Lagdo Dam will be releasing only a modulated variable small amount of water at a time in order to mitigate and avoid damage that the released water might cause along the River Benue Basin in both Cameroon and in Nigeria. In view of the above, it will be appreciated if the esteemed agency takes all the necessary proactive steps and actions that will mitigate the damage, as well as sensitize the populace living in such areas to vigilance and all necessary precautions. Lagdo Dam, located 50 kilometers south of the city of Garua on the Benue River, often releases huge volume of water when overflowing, and this leads to flooding in various states downstream of Nigeria. Based on this development, some states to be affected by the opening of the dam confirmed on Sunday that they will demolish structures on waterways, while others earmarked some schools to serve as camps for internally displaced persons. Officials of the National Emergency Management Agency and the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency said 11 states were along the path of River Benue and are going to be affected by the opening of the Lagdo Dam. Although they noted that there was no cause for alarm, they named the states to include Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Cross River. But again, in all of this, what I want to look at is quite different. Yes, the information has been made public, people are aware of it, but what brought us to this particular state that we found ourselves is what I'm very much interested in. A country like Nigeria should not be waiting to hear from Cameroon before we take adequate measures. What happened? If you go into history, let's now go back to when Nigeria and Cameroon had an agreement back in the 1970s. I think it should be around 1977. There was an agreement between Nigeria and Niger that Nigeria and Cameroon, I beg your pardon, Cameroon would build their own dam, which is the Lagdo Dam that we are talking about today, while Nigeria will build, yes, talking about the Sinhausa Dam in Adamawa State. But there is a comprehensive analysis of this particular issue that I want to bring to your notice. Adamawa State, a northeastern state hit by flood a couple of years ago, has within it a dam that has been in construction for 41 years. A dam is a barrier constructed to hold back water and raise its level, forming a reservoir used to generate electricity or as a water supply. Some years ago, Cameroon and Nigeria touched on the chances of possible flooding as a result of water overflow from the Cameroonian dam, Lagdo Dam, to cushion the effect of possible flooding. The Nigerian government agreed to build its own dam that is now will bring us to the Sinhausa Dam in Adamawa State to contain excess water from Cameroon, thereby preventing flooding. Hence, the release of excess water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon, which often contributes to flooding in Nigeria, was supposed to be contained by the Sinhausa Dam in Adamawa. Aside from that, it was supposed to be 2.5 the size of Lagdo Dam. The dam project sited at the Desin village of El-Rufai local government area of Adamawa State was supposed to generate 300 megawatts of electricity and irrigate about 150,000 hectares of land in Adamawa, Taraba, and Benue states. It was supposed to be a shock absorber to prevent shocks like the one experienced in 2012 and the one experienced in 2022. Now we're in 2023 and we are getting similar warning. At this time, the Cameroonian government built its Lagdo Dam in 5 years, between 1977 and 1982. It has been 41 years since 1982, and the Sinhausa Dam is yet to be finished. If you look at this, I consider it informing them to prepare for the consequences of activities in their own country instead of building and completing a dam they started since 1981, said Varistus Nicholas, an environmentalist in Egbema, Imo State. On September 13, 2022, Enio Cameroon, the Cameroonian electricity company, released a statement to inform residents of Garua, a port city and the capital city of the north region of Cameroon, lying on the Benue River and its environs that the dam will release between September and October 2022, urging them to stay clear of hazardous and flood-prone zones within the period. Had the government of Nigeria done likewise, the flood impact could have been buffered. Rather than own up to maybe a failure from the government, owned and Suleiman Adamu, Nigeria Minister of Water Resources, then in a bid to defend his ministry 2023 budget before the Senate Committee on Water Resources in Abuja, has said that rainfall is responsible for the flooding ravaging various communities across 30 states in Nigeria, not excess water from Cameroon. The Nigerian 2022 flood experience, currently the worst on record according to news reports, directly competes with that of 2012, one that looks a deadly toll. In 2012, for instance, the nation recorded its scariest flood experience, where 2 million Nigerians were displaced and 363 individuals died. The event cost the country an estimated $16.9 billion in total losses. Both floods have been somehow attributed to the release of excess water from the Lagdo Dam in northern Cameroon, as released water from it cascades down into Nigeria through River Benue and its tributaries, overwhelming communities that are already vulnerable due to heavy rainfall. So, completing the Desenhauser Dam in the 80s would have prevented floods, increased power generation capacity, and aided irrigation, but the characteristics corrupted failed negligence wouldn't allow it, Olusegun Ade, a researcher, said. Another person who spoke also, Igazuma Okoroba, a Pan-African sustainability strategy leader, said, where are the farms, jobs created, infrastructure, and investment from which to eradicate poverty? They are submerged in flood. 1 billion naira, about $2.3 million, has been pledged by a state governor for flood relief. I wonder if this will recover school days lost, remove the trauma and risk of cholera, restore businesses and other impacts the flood have dealt on families in the IDP camps. I wonder also if this will be a lesson for preparedness ahead of the next one. And here we are. The next one is before us, because they have given us notice that this is what will happen. And what should Nigerian government do? I think this is time for the government of Nigeria to look at the issue of Desenhauser Dam holistically and try to solve this problem. I know government is a continuum, and I'm not saying it is the negligence of this current administration that we are facing this problem. It has been a recurring decimal. This is a failure of successive government right from when the agreement was reached in 1977. Up till this moment, I am using this medium to call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to look at the issue of Desenhauser Dam, because we cannot continue to have this kind of situation that we already know whenever Cameroon opened the Lagdo Dam, because they are also scared so that it will not overflow and cause havoc in their own country. The only option they have is to release some of the excess water, and when they release, it comes down to Nigeria, putting our own people, our lives, our property, our farmlands in danger. So we have to find a long and lasting solution, a permanent solution to this issue. We cannot continue to have an information coming to tell us, or NEMA or Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency coming to tell us that this is what we should expect. Yes, it is good for us to be aware of what we should expect, but we should have a situation or a dam that should be able to take care of what we are having to witness in this country over and over again. I know I've taken a lot of time to talk about this issue, but because of the high importance of this, that is why we will continue to talk about it. It is high time President Bola Ahmed Tinubu do something about it. Please, this is a passionate call from me to you. Do something about Desenhauser Dam so that we will have a situation like this in the past, not for us to continue to witness this kind of situation. All right, let's move to another story. This time around, I think we should be leaving Punch newspaper. Let's take a look at this one from the Vanguard before we go on a quick break and come back to have a conversation with our guest analyst. This one says Supreme Court confirms Police Service Commission as statutory body responsible for recruitment into Nigeria Police Force. The Supreme Court has put to rest the lingering argument and confrontation between the Police Force Headquarters and the Police Service Commission (PSC) over who is statutorily responsible for recruitment of personnel into the force. The court ruled that it was the mandate of the Police Service Commission to recruit police personnel, with chairman of the PSC, Dr. Solomon Arase, retired IGP, declaring that the judgment was for the overall best interest of national security. Arase said the judgment simply and legally cements the resolution of the issue in a win-win situation for the two institutions, which ordinarily cannot effectively function and deliver on its respective mandates without the cooperation of each other. Making this known in a statement yesterday, spokesman of the commission, Ikechukwu Ani, said on July 11, 2023, the Supreme Court decided and laid to rest the contentious issue and the controversy between the Police Service Commission and the Nigerian Police Force as to whose duty it is to recruit constables for the Nigeria Police. In the judgment, the Supreme Court unequivocally pronounced the Police Service Commission as the agency statutorily mandated to do so. Prior to the judgment, efforts were already in process and at advanced stage towards amicable resolution of the issue between the two critical institutions, as it was highly embarrassing to government and indeed other stakeholders for the duo, which ought to work in harmony and mutuality, to have engaged in such avoidable legal disputation over an issue that sought understanding, respect and compromise. It must be said and seen, therefore, that the judgment is delivered for the overall best interest of our national security and goes to underscore the imperative need for harmonious working relationship and mutual trust amongst agencies of government. Consequently, it is important that all concerned de-escalate and ensure all forms of hostilities, misconceptions, preconceptions and prejudices against each other, which were at the base of the hitherto characterizing of a no-love-lost relationship between the Commission and the Nigerian Police Force. Arase noted that the unnecessary imbroglio impacted negatively on staff of Police Service Commission and officers, as well as other ranks of the Nigerian Police Force. Going forward, he announced that a recruitment board has been constituted, chaired by the Police Service Commission, with other relevant stakeholders as members, and will be inaugurated in no distant time. The board will screen and ensure that only able and qualified members of the public are recruited into the Nigerian Police Force, reflecting also the principle of federal character. The imperativeness of peace, harmony and cordiality between the two institutions, according to him, cannot be overemphasized, as contemporary security provisioning has become more tasking than ever and demands a robust policy guideline from the Commission. This is to ensure that the Nigerian Police Force is repositioned for greater efficiency and effectiveness in not only meeting up with the myriad of security challenges confronting our dear country, Nigeria, but also birthing a responsive, responsible and accountable police to our people. Peace is essential for growth and success of any institution in delivering on its mandate, and it is hoped that the Commission and Nigerian Police Force will continue to build and consolidate on the emerging trust, confidence and mutual respect, he added. I think this is a welcome development, because we have seen a lot of things in the past that happened between the Police Service Commission and the police hierarchy, which of course shouldn't have come up in the first place, shouldn't have been in the public space, but unfortunately it happened, and this is a good one for the Nigerian Police Force and also the Police Service Commission to be able to bury the hatchet and have a good understanding on the way forward to reposition Nigerian Police Force for better and effective service delivery to the public, talking about Nigeria at large. And also there was this information that was making around, I think about last week, talking about recruitment into the Nigerian Police Force. I think that information is not true, because I saw something that shows that this is really a fake news, and if there is anything concerning police recruitment, it will be made public by the Nigerian Police and also the Police Service Commission. Basically it's going to be on news handles, talking about radio stations, TV stations and also newspaper publications, so you should disregard any such news talking about police recruitment for now, and if there's any, we will certainly let you know. At this juncture, we will be going on a quick commercial. When we come back, we will engage with our guest analyst in person of Mr. Rufai Oseni, who will also add his own opinion to the conversation we are having. Stay with Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja, and also VOP TV. We will continue after now. My name is Ali Udoma, and this is Front Page Review.
Variety is the spice of our station.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. Now you have a voice.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at VOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. VOP TV, show up, speak up.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Let's go! Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream.
At number 4, Ogbomosho Street,
Area 8, Genki, Abuja, or 3rd Avenue, Gwaripa, Abuja, or Federal Housing Estate, Phase 2, Lube, Abuja. Call 0908-831-5906 or 0908-831-5908 or 0909-238-9861. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at rumourspizza.ng.
website
www.rumourspizza.ng. Romeo, the pizza champions. Traveling to Lagos and desire the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant?
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafty Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Have you ever wondered if your Your opinion matters. Do you know that your voice can change the narrative? Your voice matters. Lend your voice today. Become a part of our family on Voice of the People 96.
All right, good morning. If you just joined, welcome. This is Front Page Review on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja and Voice of the People TV. It's time for us to link up with our guest analyst, Mr. El-Rufai Oseni, who will add more color to the conversation this morning. Hello, good morning, Mr. El-Rufai. Good
morning, Maza. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. I hope your weekend went well.
Bless you, my friend.
All right. Let's start with this one. Okay, did we? I don't think we've finished our campaign. We stopped at the
yes,
8th.
So this is
we stopped at the
yes,
8th.
So this is the 8th. Yes.
Should be the 9th today. The 9th.
As regards the money that was scheduled for the 8th, yes. So. Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Yeah, as regards the money that was scheduled for the 8th. Yes, the 10 presidential account for it. Very simple.
All right, we have this. Atiku asked Tinubu to come clean on academic feat ingenuity. It's contained on the Guardian newspaper, although I saw it on different papers, but we're working with this one on the Guardian newspaper. This issue of certificate, President Bola Tinubu certificate from Chicago University. Atiku has been so hot recently about the issue of certificate. What do you make of this situation?
So for me, as regards this, the case is in court.
Yeah.
Let's allow this to pan out. Atiku's lawyer has filed in America. There's also a reaction to that by Tinubu's lawyer. Atiku tweeted yesterday asking for more details as regards Tinubu's antecedents, saying he tried to in other forms he feels that he had a primary school and a secondary school, and in this one he's not feeling that he has a primary and secondary school. This is INEC form. So we should account for it. And there have been many cases back and forth as regards Bola Tinubu and certificates. If you remember the case where Professor Skiamo is now minister for aviation, to support them. In fact, apart from the Bola Ige case, that was another case that made Skiamo very popular then back in the day. So, I mean, let the court in Chicago come back to us and all of this. Let's say I found out.
All right, still within the issue of certificates, before we go to issue of Lagdo Dam and other stories, Hannatu Musawa, who is a minister of culture and now being a core member, serving core member, has generated a lot of controversy. Some are even likening her situation with that of Kemi Adeosun, even though we know there are a lot of differences between her case and that of Kemi Adeosun. But in all of this, now a serving minister, a serving core member, where do we go forward? What is the true reality of this situation? Is it possible?
So this one is a case of public morality, and this case is going to take the president if he doesn't take action on it. This woman did not declare to Nigerians that she was a serving core member when she was appointed, and that's the problem I have with the Senate, when you just tell people to take a bow and go without scrutinizing them. This is a case of national embarrassment. According to the law, it's not that NYC is required for you to be able to be a minister.
Yeah.
But there's also another law that says if you graduated school before the age of 30, you must do your mandate. So there are two laws back to back on ground. And while all of this goes on, it is the effrontery not to even show yourself publicly. And this has been raging on. The petition had been submitted. If not now that the NYC came out to make a definitive statement as regards to that this lady is a serving core member, we don't get to know about it. So does that really bring trust and competence?
But she came out. She came out yesterday, Mr. Rufai, to say she has not contravened any part of the law in Nigeria, either from NYSC or from the Constitution of Nigeria. Yes, she is a serving core member, and she did not deny that fact. But that doesn't mean she should not be considered as a minister, because she's not evading to serve. She's currently serving. Okay,
so but that was what I said before. I said, see, there's a law on ground that says if you graduated before the age of 30, you must serve. There's another law on ground that says you don't need more than the requirement of a House of Rep member, which we know is less than a secondary school certificate, to be able to be a minister. But what I'm saying is that the law and the one she broke is that of public morality. In the findings, you didn't officially fully declare that you were a serving corps member. All right.
Yeah, but now if we look at it from the screening part in the Senate, is it that they should go in terms of their screening, what they need to verify? Should they go verify what a person did not declare, or they should focus on what the person has declared?
See, pure and simple. What you should do for people is to have a background check on them. This is how we did in the last administration, and that we had a minister that hitherto had supported some terrorist leanings in the past. All right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's the truth.
All right,
that's the truth.
We hope something good comes out of that. But what are your expectations now from the president?
The president should do the needful. He should do what is right. Everybody there is at the pleasure of the president. So if the president wants somebody that couldn't declare she's still serving an LYSC and he wants a core member as minister, it even sounds funny. If the president wants a core member as minister, then he should continue. It's as simple as that. If he wants a core member as minister, then he should continue.
All right, we'll move to other stories, even though I still have my reservations.
You're still laughing at me. I can see you are laughing.
I'm laughing quite right. I'm laughing quite rightly, but the issue there is I feel her being a core member doesn't take away her competence and her experience in other field of endeavors. But let's move to another story.
No. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Nobody has said it takes away her competence. But what we are saying is, number one, it's a case of public morality. A woman that has still earning her allowance and is also taking a government, and she at least do one. She's collecting allowance. She's going to place of primary assignment. Can she at least do one? And that's the shenanigan that is going on, and that's a reflection of how much this government has been, because this is an embarrassing situation. It's an embarrassing situation. I've got nothing against call. I was always a core member. There's no big deal about it. But when I was a core member in my place of primary assignment, then was I also a minister?
No.
Because minister is a very high office where you are the rich capital of taxpayers' money. And the question is, did she officially come out to declare she was a core member until NYSC came out to talk? So it just makes of our hypocrisy.
All right, I want to have this from you, Mr. El-Rufai, this question, because I know for a fact that we've had some of the policies of this present administration, especially the two policies, the obvious ones that have hit Nigerians a lot, talking about the fuel subsidy and also the unification of Naira. And a lot of times on this platform, you and other Nigerians have said that it is not that we are against the issue of subsidy removal. It is a good thing, but what we are talking about, or what we were against, is the fact that there was no adequate preparation before the removal of fuel subsidy. And again, this is something that I think is a bit synonymous with this administration so far, because some new ministries we have carved out of the old ministries that we have, while some were merged. But what we have currently is the issue of having more than one minister in a particular building. And not issue of the building, not the building is the biggest problem, but having the same civil servant, the directors. Now, for instance, you talk about the buildings that have Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy with that of Transport. Is they are sharing same building? How now two ministers are there? The civil servant, the directors there went to report or welcome the two ministers. Now, who am I working under? They don't even know. Some of the civil servants are asking questions, although probably something might happen. But in this situation, what should we have done even before bringing these ministers to the same building? And this is one. We have other ministries who are going to be sharing the same building, more than one minister. How do the civil servant now report to the minister?
So let me now tell you something. Musawa broke the law.
Okay.
Section 13 of the NYSC provides that anybody who fails to report for service in the service corps in the manner directed by the directorate and who refuses to make him or herself available in the service corps is guilty of an offence and liable on conviction of a fine of 2,000 naira or to imprisonment of term of 12 months or both. All right. It's as simple as that. The law also says that a person who is disqualified by law to be a lawmaker is also disqualified to be appointed as a minister. So she broke the law. So as she is now, if the laws of the land are to apply you, she should be serving a jail term as we speak, because whatever service she's doing at NYSC now is at variance with what the directorate want them to serve. So take for instance, who goes to a place of primary assignments? Do you know these children she's denying the chance? If they posted us to a teaching center. So you see, we can keep fooling ourselves all we want. And that's why I tweeted this morning. I said, if the president wants an NYSC member as minister, no problem. But collecting alawi and ministerial salary in a double strike. Nigeria is a theater of the absurd. Yes. So let's not deceive ourselves. If we want this country to be good, let's call it spade a spade. Pure and simple.
All right. Now to my next question. I hope you've got the question I asked.
Yes, say the question again.
Okay, about the issue of having two ministers sharing same building and same civil servant also working under them. The directors introduce themselves to one minister and thinking, how should I even go to introduce myself to the other minister, and who am I going to work directly under? For instance, now in the Ministry of Transport, where we have Marine and Blue Economy.
Aliyu. Please, let them go and fix problem. I have my own problem. If they are the one creating the ministry, they should go and sort themselves out as soon as possible. Everybody should face their problem. But they knew when they were budgeting the ministry and when they were increasing it because of their own political exigencies. They knew when they were bloating the size of government because in the bid to be able to establish people that voted for them or that helped them. They knew when they were playing their games, so they should go and fix their problem. Like 15 ministers shares one block. As long as they deliver, that's my priority. As long as they deliver. If ministers don't see office space to work, they should work from home. Everybody work from home during COVID now. What's the big deal? They should work from home. Yeah, simple.
All right, let's move to this one that says Cameroon Dam opening, evacuates to prevent deaths. Federal government state warn flood-prone communities. The release of huge volume of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon has made states along the path of River Benue in Nigeria brace up for possible flood disasters in their various domains. We are back at it again. It happened last year, and this year we're still facing similar issue.
Okay, so you see part of the level of incompetence again.
Yeah.
That level of incompetence. Cameroon opened Lagdo Dam in 82. We were supposed to build our dam here to buffer, so that our dam was going to be able to collect all the reserve water anytime Cameroon opens their dam.
Yeah.
And apart from that, the dam was supposed to be able to give us fish and water for irrigation.
And even electricity.
And even electricity, if I had built a dam, we could have been collecting about 20,000 tons of fish. So that's the possibility we had. But because of our mismanagement, misalignment, anything you want to call it, we didn't build all the years. And now we are suffering from it. Families, villages are flooded. You remember last year in Abuja?
Yeah.
When you people couldn't get fuel for a couple of days because of the dam issue.
Yeah.
And you people have to camp, and the price of fuel went up temporarily. Because the price of cars. So you saw what you went through. So if that's the thinking, then let's continue.
But again,
let's continue.
Why is it that how so difficult it is that we have successive government being unable to implement?
Because we built a system where we don't do anything well. It's as pure as simple. There's no level of accountability. There's no priority to problems. So people do not prioritize the problems you have. And if you don't prioritize the problems you have, then you can't get solutions from them. Pure and simple. So when you don't prioritize, you don't get solutions, you don't move forward, you don't solve any problem. So it's a reflection of how either two governments have been run. Both APC, both PDP, birds of the same feather, and all of that. See, in 2012, somebody in one of the ministries was talking about the fact that, we need to fix this dam once and for all. Over 10 years now, nothing has been done. So when we talk that we failed as a country, people cry all sorts, and they shout, and they say all sorts. So we have just become a theater of the absurd, and we deceive ourselves so much. And in the end, it is these same people that come to the back and say, please don't talk.
So we'll continue to wait and mitigate and share palliatives. The government are not doing anything, and God will help us in this country.
So what? Listen to me. What the government will now probably do is that they will now issue budget next year to be able to cater for those that lost money, that lost property in the flood incident, and we know how that one will go again. Then probably maybe the humanitarian minister will come out, like the last humanitarian minister said, that some states were more affected by the flood more than Bayelsa. So why is Bayelsa crying more than the bereaved? That's the hypocrisy we've become as a nation. Yeah, when we say these things, people say, don't talk. No, don't talk. The truth is always bitter. You can't remove it. If you don't want people to talk, do what is right, pure and simple. It's not a case of nobody's got any animals against anybody. Pure and simple. Do what is right.
Yeah, sure. Do what is right. And that leads us to the next headline that we have that says, it's on the Guardian, that said Nigeria still losing 400,000 barrels of crude oil daily, says NSA Nuri Badu. But again, Mr. Rufai, this thing we've been talking about, the issue of oil theft in Nigeria. What can we do to end this menace? The NSA is now coming to say 400,000 barrels per day is being lost as a result of international thieves, despite the effort of the government. So what should we do in this country? Is it that these people are beyond the government? Is it that the government cannot stop these illegal activities?
The government knows what to do. If they want to end crude oil theft today, they will end it. But as long as there are many interests that are bound, we deceive ourselves too much in this country.
I believe so.
If the National Security Advisor come out in an alarming tone to say that you still have over 400,000 barrels per day being stolen, is it not his job to fix that problem? Is it not the National Security Advisor? Is it Aliyu that thinks of how to make good programs on VOP radio in Abuja that should come and solve that problem for him?
Not at all. Not at all.
Or the fact that comes to analyze? So he should fix his problem. So if he's coming as an alarmist tone to say that, then I just feel we're joking. we are joking because everybody is involved, everybody is playing. So when we are ready, we'll solve our problem. If we are not ready, we'll continue to do the otherwise.
All right, I think it's time to let you go, except if you want to add 1 minute for me today.
Okay. You know what I always push?
Yeah.
A careful adult and elderly people.
All right, thank you very much. Do have a lovely week ahead.
And you too, have a great one.
All right, thank you. Bless you too. All right, that was Mr. El-Rufai Oseni, our guest analyst, who has added color to the conversation, and you've heard his own perception to these issues that we have, some of the stories. Let's take a look at this story quickly before we wrap up the show this morning. It's on the Punch newspaper that says Niger, ECOWAS demand shorter transition period from junta. The Economic Community of West African States has demanded a shorter transition from the junta in Niger. The chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Head of State and the government, President Bola Tinubu, told the Ulamas during a meeting with them on Thursday that the 3-year transition period proposed by the military leaders was unacceptable to the regional body. A member of the Islamic clerics who met with the president, the national missioner, Ansaruddin Society of Nigeria, Sheikh Abdurrahman Ahmed, disclosed this to the Punch in a phone interview on Saturday. The Ulamas had held a meeting with the Niger junta in a bid to avert military intervention to restore democracy in the Francophone country as planned by the ECOWAS. During their interface, the junta leader, General Abdurrahman Tiani, had indicated an interest in holding a dialogue to resolve the political impasse resulting from the ouster of President Mohamed Bazoum in July 26 coup. He also asked the Ulamas to prevail on Tinubu to restore electricity, which was cut off from Niger as part of sanctions imposed by ECOWAS. Speaking to Punch correspondent on the outcome of their meeting with the president, Ahmed, who is the spokesperson for the Ulamas, explained that Tinubu insisted that the military leaders must give specifics of their transition program, which must also be brief. He said what we did Thursday was to brief him, that is the ECOWAS chairman, on the outcome of our visit. The reason he has asked us to go back is that he wants specifics from the junta. That was what he said. Their response was too open-ended and he could not hold that. That is why he asked us to go back. The president wants specifics, that what he had said is too general. They want to be able to hold them to a timeline and the commitment and the specifics of the short time of transition. On when the delegation will return to Niamey, the cleric said we are deliberating on when it will be convenient for members to go back and when it will be convenient for the people we are going to meet to receive us. We're all still deliberating on when to go back. That's what he said. The vision is to intervene. The vision to intervene was a private initiative of the Ulamas, and it is not a committee set up by the government. We are only trying to facilitate peace resolution with regard to this conflict without the need for the use of force. So, to that extent, we sought the permission of the president because it is not something we can do on our own. Basically, with another country, the president granted the permission, and then we began. And of course, our president is the chairman of ECOWAS, and we briefed him each time we visit the Nigerian people. But basically, it's about the convenience of members of the delegation, and then we will reconvene and then go back. This is part of the update that we are having this morning concerning the military coup that took place in Niger Republic on this 26th of July this year. Hopefully it will come to a logical understanding and there is going to be a solution to the problem inside. Hopefully, let's see what will happen, and definitely we will bring you more updates when it comes up. And at this juncture, we have come to the end of Front Page Review on VOP TV and Voice of the People Radio Abuja. My name is Ali Udoma. Do have a fantastic Monday ahead.